All right, well, welcome everybody to our first ever gathering of the SeccoPaths. I appreciate you all coming out today, everybody who's here in person, and everybody on Zoom, of course. Very exciting, kind of a milestone for us making it through our first year, which we are very, very proud of. And as we will talk about, we can't do it without you guys. So really, this is all about our Say community members and showing off to our Say community members, but also showcasing our Say community members as well. So to begin, I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a state of the business, just so you guys know what's going on with PasoSecco. We'll kind of talk about what we accomplished in 2024 and some of the fun things we have lined up for the rest of this year. So in 2024, we ended up doing over 1,200 unique orders from customers over the course of the year, which I think is pretty substantial first-year numbers. We're quite excited about that. We ended up selling 5,631 bottles of PasoSecco, which accounted for 89% of our total inventory. So nearly 90% of our inventory gone within our first year. And given that we didn't have a tasting room until almost 4 months into the year, I thought that's pretty significant, pretty substantial. Of course, we launched our SauvySecco on December 15th, which we are very, very proud of. We moved 169 bottles of that in just 2 weeks when it was available. So pretty cool right there. And we're excited for what we're going to see more from that coming up this year. So just to take you through the timeline for 2024, it was our first complete year in business. Our website officially launched on January 1st. So that was kind of the kickoff to being able to finally sell, which was exciting. We signed our tasting room lease here in downtown Paso on February 1st, but did not move in until April 27th, thanks to ABC licensing delays, as everybody in the wine industry has to deal with these days. Our first Long Beach brunch tasting was on June 9th, and that was a huge success. We'll talk a little bit more about that because that is something we're going to continue with hopefully this year. We had our grand opening party on June 22nd here in the tasting room, which was very well attended. And then, of course, we had our SauvySecco release parties in December, both down in Long Beach once again, and here in the tasting room. We poured at a ton of events this year. It was really about letting people know who we are, getting them to taste the wine and building up that momentum. So Elizabeth and her husband Cole poured at the beginning of the year at the Park Cinema for the Super Bowl celebration there. We also poured at the Rhone Rangers grand tasting in February. Twilight on the Terrace at Hearst Castle, which was a pretty cool event. If you've never been, I highly recommend it. You get to snoop around Hearst Castle after dark with no guards watching you, which is kind of cool. We poured at a wine expo at the San Marcos Ranch up north of here. Vintage Hollywood in Santa Monica, very cool event, headlined by Joel McHale. We were there. We poured at the Festival of Forgotten Grapes at the end of June, which was a fantastic event, if I do say so myself. The Downtown Vibe, Elizabeth was nice enough to pour that for all the downtown wineries. We poured at several equestrian events at the Paso Robles Horse Center. So we are not just, we're open to everybody. We're really hitting lots of different demographics. We poured at the Elegant Evening at the Wildflower Women, and to finalize the year, to kick it off with, or finish it off with a nice flourish, we poured at the downtown Paso Robles bonfire event that they had. So we were the official sparkling representative of that. So it was pretty awesome year for us. Over the course of the year, we brought on 12 different wholesale vendors that have PasoSecco available. So you can get it not just here in the tasting room, but also at Brunch and Allegretto, which were by far our two best partners in the whole thing. At Jeffrey's Barbecue, Sabor y Sazon Restaurant, the Backyard Beer Garden right down the street. Wines on Main, it's available. Park Cinemas, so when you're checking out a movie, you can get a nice glass of PasoSecco with you. Via Caravaggio Italian restaurant at the Paso Market Walk. Grape and Grains, one of our few retail partners that we've got. And of course, the Hatch and Della's we had our wine at as well. At this point, I really want to offer some thanks to those people who helped us make it through this first year. First and foremost, let me thank Elizabeth, my winemaker, our winemaker, I should say. We truly could not have done this without her. I like to say, go ahead and clap. That's all right. Yes. I like to say that Elizabeth is responsible for everything inside the bottle, and I handle everything outside of the bottle. But ultimately, when it comes to a wine brand, what is most important is what's inside the bottle. And Elizabeth has just repeatedly knocked it out of the park with both our PasoSecco and our SauvySecco, our brand new wine. We are very, very proud. I'm very proud to have her on board. You're welcome. I also could not have done this, no less, without my beautiful girlfriend, Teresa, over here. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for putting up with everything. She was the rock. She is also our general counsel. So in our little tiff with the Consorzio di Prosecco over the trademarking of our name, which we ultimately prevailed in. Very excited about that. She was our wartime conciliary and helped us guide through that. So it was fantastic. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it. You have been my rock. Yes, you have also been my rocks in my, which is good too. So, exactly. I want to thank all of our investors. I won't go through them by name, but they were the ones who supported us initially in 2023, putting up the funds to get us launched. They've been with us through thick and thin. We greatly, greatly appreciate their support and everything they've done, not only financially, but just in terms of evangelizing, spreading the word, bringing people into the fold, pouring for others. So thank all of you, all 11 of our investors out there. We greatly, greatly appreciate your help. And most importantly, thanks to all of you, all of our SeccoPath community members. Honestly, you guys are what it's all about. We can make the best wine in the world, but if we don't have people who love it, who drink it, who buy it, we're going to be bankrupt very, very quickly and have a whole bunch of wine sitting in our hands. So it's really thanks to you. The most important number from this year for me is 119. Over 2024, that's exactly how many SeccoPath community members we brought in, which I think is pretty substantial for a winery in their first year. As you'll see, we didn't lose a whole lot of people either. So we're excited about that, but we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And we look forward to serving you and bringing you the best bubbles in Paso, not only in 2025, but beyond that as well. Speaking of 2025, let's talk about a few of the very cool upcoming events that we've got going on. First and foremost, next month, we're going to be pouring at the Rhone Rangers Grand Experience here at the Paso Robles Event Center. If you have not been to that, it's pretty cool tasting, probably my favorite tasting that we have here in Paso, even better than the Paso Robles Wine Fest. All Rhone producers from all over the country. You'll find wineries in Oregon, from Oregon, Texas here as well, all up and down California, all pouring Rhone varietals. So obviously, Elizabeth and I will be there pouring both PasoSecco and SauvySecco. We're looking forward to that. A week later, for those of you down south in Los Angeles, is our Festival of Forgotten Grapes. Of course, it's a festival near and dear to my heart since I founded it. But PasoSecco will be there. Again, Elizabeth and I will be there pouring both PasoSecco and SauvySecco. If you haven't gotten tickets for that yet, you can get that at festivalofforgottengrapes.com. I think there's 2 VIP tickets left, and we've got 56 wineries who are going to be there this year, pouring well over 100 unique varietals. Pretty cool event. Let's see what else. Jumping forward to May 7th, we're going to do our first in-tasting room wine class. It's going to be a chocolate and sparkling wine pairing class. So we're working with Mama Ganache down in Slow. They're going to be creating some chocolate truffles just for our pairing that's going to pair with both the PasoSecco and the SauvySecco. So we'll have some more information on that. Tickets are going to go on sale first week in March, so keep an eye on that. And then the announcement that I'm most excited about on Sunday, June 29th, is going to be Bubble Shuck 1, our first mega fet that we are going to do. Bubble Shuck is dedicated to the 4 food groups that go perfectly with sparkling wine, which are oysters, fried chicken, caviar, and fried potatoes in all their ways, shapes, and forms. And yes, for you vegans out there, we will have some vegan options for that as well. So definitely check that out. Sunday, June 29th, put that on your calendar. It's going to run from approximately 3 to 7 p.m. It'll be at the Atascadero Lake Pavilion, so not too far from here, but a big enough venue that we'll be able to get all of our folks in there, which we appreciate. And of course, the PasoSecco and the SauvySecco will flow freely. So
what else happens on June 29th?
Nothing of any sort. It's not certainly anybody important's birthday or anything like that. So
Special 50th.
Not anybody's special 50th birthday happening that same day. We don't need to talk about that. It's really about Bubble Shuck 1 is the most important thing. That's what we're all focused on. Tickets for Bubble Shuck will go on sale again the first week in March. I'll be sending out an email for everybody, but keep an eye out. We'd love to see you. If you're going to come up to Paso for any reason, that's the reason to come up for. Hopefully all of you that are local, we'd love to see you out at that event. So put it on your calendar, schedule your vacations in July and August, but definitely be here for Bubble Shuck 1. You do not want to miss it. Couple more things. We're going to have our Secco Blind event, which we didn't do in 24, but we're going to do in 25, probably in mid to late August. What we'll do there is we'll have between 30 and 35 different sparkling wines from here in Paso Robles, plus some of the big Prosecco brands. We'll do a blind tasting with everybody of those. And we're going to have you rate each of the wines that you taste. If you can make it through all of them, you are fantastic. On a 5-point scale in 5 different categories. And the cool thing about that is then Elizabeth and I take that data, we create an algorithm, pick out the wines that finish top of the heap, and then Elizabeth will take them to into the lab and basically analyze those wines, and we'll use some of those core numbers coming out of that to make the 2025 vintage of PasoSecco. So it's our way of making the most crowd-pleasing wine possible. It's that cross between art and science, and it's something we're really, really excited to bring back. I know there are some of you on the Zoom who were at the 2023 Secco Blind we did, and it was a good event for all. Definitely no driving at the end of that, though. So take an Uber. Yes, exactly. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to be doing in December, once again, late November, early December, we'll do our release parties for our new vintage of PasoSecco, as well as our 2025 wide release, which we will get to in a little bit, figure out what that's going to be. But we will probably, once again, do one down in Southern California and one here in Paso Robles. So we will let you know those dates as we get closer. Those are going to be TBD based on when we have the wines available and ensuring we don't get too close to the holidays for that. So that is all of the events we've got. Just a couple more things. First and foremost, for 2025, I mentioned the 12 locations where we have PasoSecco available. We've already brought some new locations on board where you can get PasoSecco. It's now available at Cielo in Atascadero, a fantastic Italian restaurant right on El Camino. We highly, highly recommend checking them out. But great people, and they're now carrying the best bubbles in Paso. We are also now being featured at Luna Red down in Slow, which I am very excited about. Great brunch crowd for us. Should be a really, really good partner for PasoSecco. And starting in March, PasoSecco is going to be available at Sensoria out on Highway 46, the big art installation. So we're very excited about that. We think that's going to be fantastic exposure to a lot of people coming to PasoSecco. So it should help us bring a lot more people in the fold, bring more Secco community members into the fold as well. I should also point out that there are a few other venues that we're working on. We'll let you know about those when they happen. But also SauvySecco, we weren't going to wholesale this, but we had two companies, organizations ask for it by name. So SauvySecco is now available at Allegretto. If you're enjoying brunch there or lounging by the pool, you can get a nice glass of SauvySecco there as well. And it is also available at Serenea, the new tapas restaurant from Chef Julian Aseo, the Michelin-starred chef at LPC, Le Petit Canaille. So that is one that I know we're really excited about. You were very excited about that. Elizabeth had a hand in convincing me that we should wholesale it just in those locations because it wasn't something I was going to do. But we're excited to have SeccoPaths at arguably the most exciting new restaurant in Paso Robles. Okay, I've been talking way too much. Two last things. Number one, the $1 per shipping bonus discount is still happening through the end of February. So you've got until 11:59 p.m. On February 28th to put in an order of anywhere from 6 to 12 bottles and have that shipped to you for $1 per bottle. So if you haven't jumped on that yet, absolutely please do so we can get you that fantastic wine. You can pick and choose PasoSecco, SauvySecco, whatever you'd like. And then lastly, if you are interested in doing a private PasoSecco tasting in your home, inviting your friends over, that's something that we definitely want to kickstart this summer and into the fall. So if it's something you're interested in, please email me. It'll be no cost to you. We'll bring the PasoSecco in. I will be there to pour, and we will, do what we can to hopefully bring some of your friends, some of your loved ones, some of your relatives, acquaintances, work friends, whatever it might be, into the PasoSecco fold. Okay, that was a lot. Cool. So I am going to pass the mic, as the Beastie Boys once sang, to our winemaker, Elizabeth, who is going to talk a little bit about our 2024 harvest and our two wines that we released this year. So, Elizabeth, the floor is yours, my dear. Yes, feel free to applaud.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So many people in here. Oh my gosh.
Step forward. There you go.
Should I angle it?
Right.
I'm short, Chris.
I know. I can't angle much more. So, yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about our 2024 harvest season and kind of what went on while we were making these wines. So just to dive in, before the grapes are picked and everything, I kind of want to paint a picture of what that looked like for the grapes and their growing season. Last year, I think a few of you remembered how we had that hailstorm and the late frost. So that definitely impacted our grape growing. We had a little bit of hail, which affected the flowering process on the vines. So that in turn, we were a little bit nervous about that. Also, the yields were just generally down around, especially in the Paso Robles AVA. I feel like we were kind of an island in that. Napa wasn't really affected. Santa Barbara wasn't affected, but we were just kind of in this bubble where the yields were just not there this year. Also, we had a lot of cool weather coming into the harvest season. So our grapes hung on the vine a little bit longer, which at first, we were like, should we pick it this week? Nope, it's only 65. Okay, we'll wait. So we kind of were ping-ponging with that. So when it came to a picking decision, we had to really rely on experience and just making the call and figuring out what was best for our wines. So yeah, it was anything but predictable this year, pre-bringing the grapes into the winery. So eventually, we brought the grapes in and the acids were great. Yeah, really lovely fruit came into the winery this year. So that's kind of painting the picture of pre-winemaking. For winemaking, we had, grape growing, we had a partnership with a new vineyard this year. I'm sure you're aware. The San Lucas Vineyard is where we got our Cinsault for the Cinsault Rosé. We haven't sourced from them before, but the fruit came in looking great. Yeah, kind of odd bunches, but we made it work, and we had some grapes on the vine that had a lot of pigment in the skins, which helped us get that beautiful color that you see in your glass. Yeah, grapefruit came from them. The process was super easy. Although sampling, and it's something else we saw this year, the acids and the ripening were kind of all over the place. So, 1 week we'd bring a sample in, it was close to being ready. I would sample a few days later, not close at all. So it was kind of across the board with our Grenache Blanc and the Cinsault. It was just a funky year for acid and the sugar in the grapes. But yeah, the fruit came in, looked great. think made a pretty good wine as well. Then for the Grenache Blanc, we continued our relationship with Brava Vineyards. As always, the fruit came in looking excellent, very balanced and crisp, lovely fruit. We love the Brava Vineyard. Always looks great. And then also something new this year, we partnered with Tooth and Nail Winery for our custom crush facility for making the base. Lovely team, excellent facility, very clean, very professional. So we thank them for their support, and yeah, we couldn't have done it without them. And then, so in addition to our new partnering with Tooth and Nail, we partnered with a new Charmant facility, Fior de Soleil. And at first, you know, we were anxious to kind of see how it would compare with our last facility, Wybel, and see how their differences in winemaking would look. Can say that we are very, very happy this year with their style of winemaking for the Charmant process. I think the bubbles are a lot more refined, very elegant, just very lovely. So we are super excited about them. Let's see, what else do we have? So our new wine this year was the SauvySecco. And bringing that in, you know, I had this plan in my head of, you know, a few hours, we're going to destem the grapes. We're going to get it off the stems. We're going to get the pulp in contact with the skins, get some color on there, get some aromatics. So we'll leave it on the skins for a few hours. Well, when we were doing that, there was no color at all in these grapes, nothing at all. So quick thinking, we were like, you know what? Our facility is closing today. We're going to have to leave it on the skins to maybe pick up some color overnight. So we ended up doing an extended maceration, which was, you know, not originally what I had planned. But the next day we came in and we pressed it off, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous color. So in, you know, this unexpected kind of turn of events, it ended up being a really good, you know, a stroke of genius, I like to say. But yeah, so super excited with that. That led to it having, you know, more bigger body, those really lovely fruity aromatics on the nose as well. Let's see, what else? Yeah, we had a few bumps in the road, but I think we both pivoted very well winemaking wise. I mean, when we were picking the Grenache Blanc, actually, the fruit was all picked. You know, it was going to be a hot day that day as well. Fruit was all picked, ready to go, and I get a call from our dispatch, the truck driver that was going to pick up the bins, and he's like, I have a flat tire. I have to go back to the shop. It's going to be hours until I can get your fruit. And I'm like, it's already 10 o'clock. It's about to be 100 today. We gotta make this happen. So called someone, a mutual friend. I'm like, hey, can you please go get my grapes right now? So they were able to go get the fruit, and it came in impeccable shape. So that was another little pivot that we had this year. But I think all in all, we made a gorgeous Grenache Blanc again, year after year. I feel like it's just always so balanced and fruity. It's got that green apple, that bright acidity. So just keeping in that line of keeping, you know, our standards really high for our flagship. And then the SauvySecco, I'm just very, very happy about. It's got gorgeous color. It's just vibrant. And yeah, I think we had a really good winemaking year. And as with all winemaking years, there's always surprises. So, you know, we're looking forward to this harvest and kind of ready to kind of move around as per usual. I mean, it's nothing different. So yeah, thank you, Chris, for always supporting me and believing in my winemaking ideas and me getting, you know, kind of funky with things and testing things out. Yeah, I'm really, really happy for this year. But yeah, it's just, this year was just a testament to, you know, Chris and I's passion, and, you know, and it's kind of showing everything that we've worked so hard for in these beautiful, beautiful wines. So, and thank you for all of your support through this process. I have the best job in the world, and I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
All right.
El Camar.
Oh, just down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some vineyards up in Monterey and here, but yeah, it's right on that Rava property.
Perfect. Yep. And we'll do a Q&A at the end. So if you've got any questions, Elizabeth and I will be happy to answer any questions anybody has with the time we've got allotted at the end. But before we get to some fun stuff, and this is the technical portion of the event. So, hey there, guys. How are you doing? Good. Please bear with me as we work on the tech side of things here. Before we get to the fun stuff of passing out some awards to our SAY community members, we did want to take a minute to recognize those, memorialize those who did not make it this year, who are no longer with us. So with that being said, hopefully everyone can see this. I want to, let's see if I can do this. Hopefully everybody on Zoom can see this. All right. Technically 3. So yes, only 3 this year that did not make it, that canceled. So that's a pretty good churn rate for us. 2% is pretty good in the wine world, and we hope to keep it low. We try to make our SAY community to be as flexible as possible for you guys, as low commitment. So we don't want you ever buying any wines you don't want to buy. We're never going to charge your card when you don't want your card charged. So hopefully I'll continue. Please don't end up on our 2025 In Memoriam list. We do not want to see you on that list. So, okay, with that being said, let's get to some of the fun stuff, which is not that one right there, but let me save that. And let me open this up. Perfect. Oh, this needs to be there. All right, what is happening? Why? Oh, yep, everything is back. Perfect. All right, so let's get to our awards. If I can open this up. Like I said, it's the first time, so just bear with us. All right, we are going to start with our... Yes, this is a good time to pour yourself some more PasoSecco if you need it. So, perfect. All right, not that one. We'll get to that in a second. Perfect. All right. So, first award we're going to offer is our Forgotten Grape Head of the Year, which goes to, as I mentioned, we did not launch the tasting room until the end of April. So, initially, we were really dependent on my Forgotten Grapes Wine Club tasting list for bringing in members and bringing in sales. So I want to recognize the member of our Forgotten Grapes list who basically was instrumental in getting us up and running, and basically one of our biggest buyers early on. And that is member number 5, Rosalia Mattern, whose nickname is The Boss. So thank you so much, Rosalia. We appreciate that. Yes, thank you for being here. I don't know if she is on the Zoom or not. She's based down in Southern California, so she does not appear to be with us. All right, next award is our AT&T Reach Out and Touch Someone Award. Not sponsored by AT&T, and get your minds out of the gutter for the Reach Out and Touch Award. But this award goes to the SAY community member who clearly doesn't live in Paso, but had the most orders, the most shipments sent to them over the course of 2024. And that award goes to... Okay, it's got to be there somewhere. Oh. There it is. Tony and Karen Gallegos, SAY community member number 70. His nickname is Alzado, if you can figure that out. And her nickname is Vegas Train. So, perfect. All right, our bronze barstool plaque. Very important award for the person who frequented the PasoSecco tasting room most often, the State community member who was here most often, that did not qualify for another award. That should also be clarified. In the future, we are going to have a dedicated bar stool and make a plaque with the name and the year of every member and line the entire bar stool up. So that will be a permanent fixture in the PasoSecco tasting room at some point in the future when we have our own tasting room and no longer have to share. This year for 2024, that award goes to, it's a tie actually, Stephanie Willits, number 30, who is club member Bronte, and Lindsay and Irie De La Cruz, number 27, QE2 and Prince Philip are their nicknames because they have corgis and love corgis. And Stephanie loves, she's an avid reader, so that's why she is a Bronte. All right, the important awards. Our Investor of the Year, our investor who helped us out the most this year, who we could not have done it without. And this year that goes to Rigo Garcia and Matt Moyer. Thank you guys so much for everything that you have done. We appreciate that. All right, 2 more awards left to go. 2 awards in one for this one. This is the Scrooge McDuck Award and our Frou-Frou Award. Now, Frou-Frou stands for first runner-up. So this is the person who just missed out on being our SeccoPath of the year. But very importantly, if the SeccoPath cannot handle their duties, you will assume the role. So bear that in mind. The Scrooge McDuck Award goes to the member who clearly is swinging around in a huge vault of coins because they spent the most money with PasoSecco this year. We will not say how much they spent, but we appreciate them paying for our rent in April and May and June and July and September. They skipped August, but that's okay. No. And this award goes to Jeff Mosqueda, club member number 10, Mosquito. Do you want to come up and say some words? Okay, he doesn't. He's a very shy man, but we appreciate everything you've done. Thank you for everything, and thank you for being our Frou-Frou of the Year award, which means 1 award left, which is our SeccoPath of the Year. This person was not only one of our earliest club members and a great supporter, but opened up her home to us twice down in Long Beach, hosted our first brunch down there in June, which helped us pick up 15 State community members at that event, sell a whole bunch of wine, which was great. But then also in December, we held the SauvySecco release party down at her house as well. Beautiful Christmas brunch that she provided for us. Invited a lot of the State community members out, plus some of our other State community members from SoCal, and really opened things up and created just a fantastic event for us. So we appreciate that. So our SeccoPath of the Year is Alexandra Phillips, number 15.
Let's go.
Mrs. Astor is her nickname. Alex, I know you're on here.
I am.
Would you like to say a few words?
Well, you can basically thank Christine and Stacy because I did it because of them. They're my blood, and I'll do anything to support them. So it's been great to be a part of their adventure.
Well, we appreciate that, and we are excited to have you not only as a State community member, but as our first ever SeccoPath of the Year. We are going to be creating a trophy that will have your name permanently etched on it.
There you go.
So you'll forever be known as the first one. And Jeff, we're also going to have a plaque made up for the Frou-Frou Award. So your name will be on that plaque and permanently etched wherever PasoSecco is poured. You will be there looking over us. So we appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, cousin.
Possibly.
Well, love
Yes.
you, Teeny.
Love you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate everything you've done. We appreciate everything all the State community members have done. So thank you guys so much. Now I need to figure out how to get out of this screen. I'm hitting escape, and there we go. Escape. Somebody's smarter than I am. Appreciate that. Okay, so that was the awards section. So one thing left to do, the most important thing, which is Elizabeth and I are going to present to you each a potential wine, a sparkling wine for 2025, for us to produce this year to be our 2025 release. We've created short little videos about them, which we are going to showcase right now. And then we'll each talk about it. And I will give you the URL where you can vote. You've got until March 1st. If you don't get the URL today, don't worry about it. I'm going to send out an email tomorrow that'll have not only the link to this whole gathering of the SeccoPaths, but we're going to download our videos to YouTube as well. So you'll have those links, and you'll have the link to vote. So you'll have the entire week. Voting is going to close on March 1st, and then we will make an announcement in the first week of March as to what our 2025 release will be, voted on by all of you. Democracy rules, people. It does not die in darkness. So, all right, let's start. Elizabeth and I flipped a coin, and all right, did everybody see that? I will play it again for those who missed it the first time. So here we go.
Chris, for those of us on Zoom, we're not seeing what you're supposed to be seeing.
All right, let me see if I can get that. Sorry about that. Let me hit stop, and let's
Share.
I thought I shared, but let me try it again.
You have to stop and restart.
Yeah. See if I can get it this way. All right. Can you see it now? No. All right, let's try this then. Let's have that open. And now we will hit share. And there we go. Okay. How about now? Okay, perfect.
Much
One
better.
more time. One more time with feeling. Here we go. Just discriminating. All right. GewurztraSecco is the name of it. So 100% sparkling Gewurztraminer. This is my choice for our next wine to be produced in 2025. And now it is time for Elizabeth. So let me bring that up, and we'll pause and open that full screen. I'm getting the hang of this. All right, share screen, media player. There it is. And we can go full screen on that one. That's eventually that little thing will disappear, right? I understand. Yes, I know. I'm just trying to figure out how to start it since I can't get over that little. There we go. Let's do it this way. Oh, that's not good. Let's do this.
My passion for Sauvignon Blanc is like a river, always flowing, always moving, never ending. And like my passion, the best Sauvignon Blanc in the world grows in our river, in the Loire Valley, in Brut, Marmara, in New Zealand. In 2024, Chris got to work with his favorite greeners in Secco. In 2025, it's my turn. Our next PasoSecco release should be SauvySecco.
100% Sauvignon Blanc, extra Brut, dry, crisp, delicious. I love this grape so much, I named my dog. Helping me make sparkling Sauvignon Blanc. Both are SauvySecco from March 1st.
All right, I'll play that one more time in the interest of fairness.
My passion for Sauvignon Blanc is like a river, always flowing, always moving, never ending. And like my passion, the best Sauvignon Blanc in the world grows in our river, in the Loire Valley, Brut, Marmara, in New Zealand. In 2024, Chris got his favorite first and second. In 2025, it's my turn. Our next PasoSecco release should be SauvySecco. 100% Sauvignon Blanc, extra Brut, dry, crisp, delicious. I love this grape so much, I named my dog. Helping me make my sparkling Sauvignon Blanc choice. Vote for SauvySecco from March 1st.
All right, so two great options. So my choice for the wine is GewurztraSecco. Elizabeth's choice for the wine is SauvySecco. So we're each going to give you a couple of minutes why we believe our choice is the correct one that you should vote. And I know you're probably all sick of campaigns and that kind of stuff, but we got one more for you. So GewurztraSecco, I'm super excited about it. It's something unique to here in Paso Robles. Very aromatic. It's going to fit in well with our portfolio. We'll do it in a dry style, but have a little bit of that fruitiness that Gewurztraminer is known for, but definitely those big aromatics. I think it works perfectly with our Charmat process, which really showcases those aromatics. You'll get those florals, those blossom notes, the orange blossom, the sweet fruit notes off of it. I am Irish and German combined, which means I want to take over the world, but I'm too drunk to do so. So please help me express my German heritage by showcasing and voting for GewurztraSecco as our 2025 PasoSecco wine release. Thank you very much. Oh, we can stop sharing at this point. Okay. And now it's Elizabeth's turn to talk about Sauvignon Blanc, SauvySecco.
SauvySecco.
Go ahead.
So Sauvignon Blanc is so widely known because it's just so gorgeous. Think of the aromatics. You start with the fresh cut grass and then you move into these lovely tropical notes. It's a prolific grape for a reason. Another thing about Sauvignon Blanc is you never see a bubbly. So we should, I believe we should be one of the first people to do it. I think I've only had one sparkling Sauvignon Blanc in my life. And so it would be, kind of awesome to pave the way on this. But yeah, also Gewurztraminer and Sauvy both have, amazing aromatics, super fun, but Sauvignon Blanc also has the acidity to keep, to stand on its own. The acidity is bright, it's refreshing, it'll work perfectly with our program because, we're looking for those crisp, dry, and acidic whites to make our base. And it's zesty, it's fun, it's the life of the party. She will be gorgeous. And I say she because Sauvignon Blanc, my dog, is a she. So I just, I'm partial to SauvySecco. But yes, I don't know. I think it's gonna be gorgeous. I don't know what else to say.
Tell them all to vote for you.
Vote for me, vote for me. Come on, can you imagine this? Just all that passion fruit. Because Paso also, the Sauvignon Blanc that's grown here is mostly warm climate. So when you have warm climate Sauvignon Blanc, that's what brings out the passion fruit, the pineapple, the guava, all of those tropical notes rather than the very grassy notes. So growing it here in Paso is also an advantage because you have those notes to it. Yes, vote SauvySecco.
All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Very, very convincing argument. So as I mentioned, y'all will have until March 1st to vote on which wine you would like to have. Let me get to the right screen so you guys know what to vote on. There we go. And I think I can then that. And we'll go to share screen. I can get to share screen. Perfect. And
Is there a limited amount of how many times you can vote?
there is, yes. It's basically one vote per member. So yes, sorry, we did not have an easier way to get this this URL to you guys, but we'll be emailing it out tomorrow along with links to both videos so you can watch them again, contemplate your choice, and we will know by the beginning of March, or I guess shortly after the 1st of March, what will be the 2025 release for PasoSecco. So
Chris, can you
yes.
put the link in the chat, in the group chat?
And probably. So let me do that. Let me, oops. If I can get to the screen, let me get there. Right there. All right, we'll go there and go to the chat. And it's that meeting group chat. Perfect. All right. And paste. Why did that not paste? Okay. I will figure out a way to get it to you, Jennifer. I promise. Yes. Okay, we've got just a few minutes left before 11:30. So at this point, Elizabeth and I will open it up to questions. If anybody has any questions about anything having to do with PasoSecco. Yes, Teresa.
How calm were you when all the things that went wrong during?
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being
I'm gonna fact check you.
okay, Daniel Dale. You know, I would say I was at a 13 at times,
I would too.
but then there were other times where I was at like a 4 because I had, you know, a great support system in Elizabeth who was able to take on a lot of the issues and help us get through. So yeah, like anything having to do with winemaking, it can be a little crazy sometimes, and but that's part of the fun. I would say is, you know, you never know exactly what you're going to get. So I'm trying to figure out how to send. Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned when you're trying to say if or not, is that typically based on bricks or something else?
Yeah, bricks and acid. Primarily I'm looking at bricks because we pick our grapes early because we need lower alcohol, and also we need that higher acid. So when we pick at about 18.5, that's usually my goal with the Grenache Blanc. For the Cinsault, I picked a little bit later just so the skins could get more ripe. But yeah, I'm looking at both the sugar levels and the acid because, you know, I don't want to have to acidify the wine. I want to keep that natural acidity in there. So it's kind of just a balancing act between the two. And the longer that the grapes stay on the vine, you actually lose acidity and you gain ripeness. But then this year, you know, we're standing there and it's not gaining ripeness, it's just losing acid because we kept getting these cold weeks. So yeah, it's a balancing act, but I primarily look at sugar.
What did you so that?
Well, my sampling led me to believe it was at 19.5. When we brought it in, it was actually more around 18. So that was kind of the funny things. I went out and sampled multiple times. They were sampling at the vineyard as well, and they were getting crazy numbers. And then I would follow up with my numbers, and it was kind of all over the place. And yeah, it was just a little bit of a little toss up. So we had to make that call.
What happened
Mhm.
on your video for SauvySecco, you put the words extra root, did that include targeting a real low dosage for that?
Yes, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So Jeff's question was on Elizabeth's video for the SauvySecco. We put the words extra brut on there. So would we be seeking a lower dosage or a lower sugar level? And
Yes. Short answer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
so extra brut falls anywhere on the Prosecco scale from 0 grams of sugar per liter up to 12. I'm sorry, 0 to 6 is where it is. Brut is 0 to 12. The SeccoPath is actually a Brut wine. It is right at 12 grams of sugar per liter. The PasoSecco is extra dry, as they call it. So just above Brut at 14 grams of sugar per liter. What's been interesting in the tasting room is because of the fruitiness of SeccoPath, I have some people who believe it's a sweeter wine overall, even though technically it is not because it has less sugar. But yes, Elizabeth and I talked about what she would do with the SauvySecco, and we would try to do it in the driest possible style. So extra Brut is our target for that. If we come in, just slightly above because of the sugar level, because of requirements from the Charmant facility, we'll definitely have it on the lower end of the Brut scale. Try to have it no more than 8 or 9 absolute tops, but as close to that magic 6 number as we can get.
Mhm. And that's something that Chris and I do together as well. When the wine is ready to be bottled, we actually get trials from the facility. They send us different sugar levels and we taste off and we see, what sugar level balances out the palate. With Grenache Blanc, I think we pretty much have that dialed. We have the chemistry dialed on the Grenache Blanc as well. So we know what to expect, what kind of dosage we're looking at compared to our acids, our pH, everything like that. So yeah, it'll come down to us tasting it and finally figuring out that dosage.
But then also your feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys what you think about the wines. And that's something in the next vintage. If we get some thoughts that it's too dry, too sweet, we can tweak that for the next vintage. What we're striving for now with the PasoSecco, especially for the SeccoPath in the next vintage, is consistency. People really seem to like both of them. We want to make sure that we maintain that level and do what we can, both in terms of the vineyard, the grapes we get, but also the seasonality of it, adjusting things as needed. So awesome.
Any other questions? Anything at all?
We're happy to answer.
Good.
Last
Chris?
chance. Yes.
Chris, this is Russ from Flagstaff, Arizona.
Yes. Hi, Russ. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Good.
Good. Question. I don't get out Paso way very often. You mentioned bubble shuck towards the end of June. Would
Yes.
you say that's the best time for us to plan a trip out that way? Or is there another time of year when we should try to get out to see you?
I mean, anytime is a great time to come out to Paso and see
There
me.
you go.
But
Good answer.
if you
Good
get to-
answer.
you get to partake in oysters and fried chicken and fried potatoes and caviar while drinking all the PasoSecco you want. I think it makes sense. I would avoid the last 2 weeks in July, which is our big mid-state fair here, when hotel rooms get crazy and the wine industry kind of dies a very slow death for 2 weeks and shuts down. And it's also the hottest time of the year there, so it's going to make Flagstaff feel like Nome, Alaska. But
Right. Perfect. Perfect.
so yeah,
All right.
get out there. We would love to see you. But if for some reason it happens in the fall is always a great time to be in Paso. Early to late spring is beautiful as well. So everybody here is nodding their heads. So yes, exactly.
Perfect. Perfect. Look forward to seeing you this year.
You too, Russ.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
Anyone else? All right.
Oh, Jeff.
Yep. We can't hear you, Jeff. I don't know why. I don't know why we're not hearing you. Are you muted on your end? Is your microphone hooked up?
Type it in chat.
Yeah, you could type it into chat.
Okay.
2 minutes, Jeff.
How about
Can't hear you. There we go. Oh, wait,
Okay.
you were there.
what just happened? Okay. No, I was just wondering, since we're making the wine at the custom crush at Tooth and Nail, are we impacted at all by the recent stuff going on with Tooth and Nail?
We are impacted by the recent stuff going on at Tooth and Nail, in that Tooth and Nail no longer exists. So we are in the market for a new custom crush facility here in Paso. Fortunately, Elizabeth has already been on that and has talked with a few potential options. including one that we're pretty excited about. We have another one that was actually, this will actually be our third custom crush facility in 3 years. So we're doing really well. If you want to know which wineries are going to close, just follow us. So the facility that finished second in the competition last year was our second choice, but it was a real toss-up last year before we chose Tooth and Nail. They're an option for us this year, which is Pacific Wine Services over just off of Airport Road. There's a couple of others that we are looking at, but wherever we go, know that we're insisting upon the highest standards of cleanliness, quality, customer service. So we're not going to be like fermenting wine in trash cans in some guy's basement somewhere. That's not going to happen. So Elizabeth is our standard keeper for everything, and she will not utilize a facility that is not up to her standards. So we are looking, but we should have something lined up before we get to the summer.
Yeah, it helps that we're a dream client, by the way. Ours is pretty much the easiest wine in terms of winemaking that you can do. We press, we ferment, we get it stable, and then it gets shipped out. So for us, we can be picky with our environment that we make our wine because we are a great client. So yeah, we have that under our belt.
Exactly. Perfect.
Well, if you do make a trash can wine, I want to try that too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's down the road. That's allowing Elizabeth to, sow her
Get
own
funky.
civics. Yeah, get as funky as she can and try things out. So awesome. All right. If there are no further questions, then I will officially call this gathering of the SeccoPaths 2025 to a close. Thank you all again for being here, both on Zoom and in person. We appreciate it. We appreciate all your support. We're so excited to have you as our members, and we can't wait to get you new wines in 2025 and beyond. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Take care.